Cyprus company creation. Hi everyone, it's Kyriakos Tramountanellis, the founder of CYAUSE Audit Services, and in this short movie we're going to talk about the Cyprus company creation. There are two ways of incorporating your Cyprus company. One way is of course the normal process where you will incorporate the company from scratch based on your requirements, and the other ways of course is to buy a ready company, which is as we call off the shelf. So today we're going to compare the two and let you know what is the best option for you. If you're going to incorporate the company from scratch, be aware that this will take 2 to 4 working weeks to be created, and of course for the bank account another 2 to 4 weeks. Now the cost for this company creation is going to be the service fees of the service provider like ourselves, or your lawyers or your accountants who will proceed with this, plus disbursements. The disbursements of a Cyprus company, unlike other companies in the world, are quite significant, and they could reach up to 800 or 900 euros. Therefore, it's always best to discuss with your service providers their fees plus disbursements, because how much you're going to pay on disbursements, it depends on your needs, whether you need all the incorporation documents in 2 languages or in 2 languages, Greek and English, whether you need the memorandum and articles in 2 languages, Greek and English, and whether of course you need any changes in the incorporation pack in the memorandum and articles. Usually we create and we provide our clients with standardized memorandum and articles where the company is eligible to do all sorts of trading activities so that we save you money. So typically, to proceed with the incorporation of a Cyprus company, you just drop an email to the service provider and you agree a fee, you pay the fee, and then they will come back to you and ask the name of the company, who will be the directors, secretary, shareholders, and of course the register office. These are also services that service providers can provide for you, and I will talk about them in the next video. But now we're talking about the company creation. Once you reply to this email and you specify who these persons will be, you will also need to provide your service providers with KYC information such as a recent utility bill, your CV, your ID, so that they will know who their client is and of course what they do for a living and where do they live. Once the service provider has this information, they will proceed to the incorporation of the company. Within 4 weeks or 2 working weeks, you will receive your information from them, which will include the incorporation pack, which is going to be the certificates of director, certificate of secretary, incorporation date, memorandum and articles of incorporation, and of course, the certificate of the shareholders. The certificate of the directors usually comes with the company secretary, so it's one certificate for these 2 positions. Once you have that, then you will proceed to the next step, which is of course the creation of the bank account for your company. This is the incorporation from scratch. Now let's go to the other scenario where I described to you that you can buy a ready-made company off the shelf, and these are companies that service providers like ourselves create purposely to sell them. So we have the same person, which is usually a legal entity which is regulated as director, secretary, and shareholder, and the memorandum and articles of association are of general use. And all of us here in the Republic do this so that when an individual like yourself is interested in buying a newly formed company off the shelf because they are in a rush, they need it immediately, we can give them to them the same day. So we just change we're not going to go into the details, but you can acquire an off-the-shelf company on the same day. We as service providers will have to sign some agreements with you, and we will appoint the persons that you want as directors, secretary, company registrar, company registered address, and of course shareholders. If you are not intending to stay in Cyprus and you want local directors and local register office, and again, these are services that we can provide to you, and we will explain them in the next video. So in summary, when you want to incorporate the company here in Cyprus, three main things to consider. You can incorporate the company from scratch, which is always preferable because of course you know that there's no history on this company, or you can buy an off-the-shelf company from a regulated service provider who has created such companies purposely to sell them. And the third important thing that you need to remember is that the fees for the incorporation from scratch of a company should be broken down to the service provider's fees and of course to the disbursements. And this is because if you pay on a package and you need something else after you receive the incorporation pack, those fees will increase exponentially. And this is because, as I said earlier on, the Cyprus disbursements are very high. So it's best to agree a service provider fee plus disbursements, and the disbursements will be determined depending on whether you need 2 sets of documents, 2 sets of certificates, changes in the memorandum and articles, and so on. Thank you for watching us. cyprusaccountants.com.cy. Drop me an email at kt@cyprusaccountants.com.cy and watch the next videos where we talk about fiduciary services and what does this mean.